Well, 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 look who's here. Welcome to the 30-minute Gingerbread Man workout with weights. So this one will probably get your heart rate up, but it's also much more focused on strength exercises. And as with the cardio workouts, you'll be spending as much time as possible maintaining a traditional gingerbread man cookie shape or related poses and moves. First we'll start out with some warm-ups, and the very first one will be triangle stretches. So you'll have your arms out to the side, and then you'll just bend over to the side and touch the floor if you can, or your foot, or just get as close as you possibly can. Alright, and you should definitely feel that stretch in your obliques and your legs and your back, which is why it's one of my favorite stretches. It gets so much. Switch to the other side. And in a few seconds, we will go into good mornings. Alright, and switch to those good mornings. I know these are usually done with the hands on the waist, which is fine if you want to do it that way. I keep my arms outstretched just to stay in keeping with the, consistent with the Gingerbread Man theme. But either way, you should definitely be feeling a stretch in your back and your legs. Next, twists with knee lifts. You can do what I'm doing here and just focus on one side if you want, or you can alternate sides. That's fine too, just as long as you are getting that stretch in and you are feeling it in your obliques. Oh, switched direction halfway through. Alright, and we are back to the triangle stretches. You definitely want to be stretching your back, your legs, and your obliques as much as you can, because they'll be working a lot. Of course, so will your arms. And switch sides. Very nice. Almost back to those good mornings. And up. I chose the good mornings as one of the warm-ups, not only because it's a great stretch while also warming up your body, but also because it just seems like fitting, easy to do with a cookie theme, a gingerbread man themed workout. But also, how nice would it be to smell some gingerbread first thing in the morning? That really is a good morning. Alright. Twists with knee lifts. We're almost there. Get ready to switch directions. And switch. Right, and you are done. Get ready to work. So first, the first circuit will be crunchy cookie on the pan, or the cookie sheet, whatever you want to call it. So get down onto your back. First of all, grab your weights. I'm using 15 pounds for this one. In my current stage of fitness, these are my heavy weights. And you're just doing chest flies, so your arms go down to your side, to the side. Don't let them touch the floor completely, and maintain just a slight bend in your elbows so that you're not putting too much strain on them. And then you're just bringing them up over your chest. This is a great one for a gingerbread man workout, I think, because you're still basically maintaining that shape with the traditional gingerbread man shape with the arms out, but moving just enough to show that You're alive. Okay, next up will be weighted X crunches, and I'm going to use 10-pound weights for this one. In my current stage of fitness, 10-pound weights are medium for me. Sometimes I also use them as light weights, but if I need really light weights, I usually go with 5s or 8s, but I'm not using them in this workout. Just 15s and 10s here. So as you can see, opposite arm to opposite leg as you crunch up, and still keeping your arms out to the side and then bringing them up. So you should definitely be feeling that in your upper arms, as well as more of a burn in your core than you would without the weights. Okay, next you're going to be crunching all the way up to a seated position, and then twisting with the weights held out in a lateral lift. So still in that cookie position, but just sitting up and twisting basically. This can be pretty challenging. 10-pound weights are usually not a problem for me to use, but it is harder to get up to that sitting position and then to twist while keeping the arms outstretched. So feel free to go with even lighter weights if you would like. You know, again, these are for me a medium weight. If your medium weight does not feel comfortable, go with your version of a light weight. Absolutely no shame. This is all stuff that you can work toward, just like me. I am still working toward things too. Okay, now for front raises, I'm using my 10s again for this one. Generally anything that involves like a lateral or a front lift, I would recommend medium or light weights for. All right, I'm keeping my palms facing the floor. If you prefer, you can face them in a different way. But yeah, one arm and then the other arm and then both. You should, again, be feeling this one in your upper arms. And keeping them straight out still keeps you in line with the Gingerbread Man theme. So chances are they're not going to be bending their arms very much. Okay, one more set. Here we go, that's good. All right, next up will be squats and lateral arm and leg raises. So, again, using the 10-pound weights, first you'll squat and you'll bring up your leg to the side, keeping it as straight as you can, and also lifting your arm as straight as you can. Oh yes, and just one side. This is definitely challenging. You can slow it down if you want to. You can make your movements smaller. If you're having trouble lifting the leg, just lift up your knee or step out if you prefer. And just focus on lifting up your arm with the weight. All right, now you got to do the other side. You can also, you know, since you're just working on one side of your body, you can choose not to hold both of the weights if you would prefer. I don't know, I like the more symmetrical feeling of holding the weights in both hands, even if only one arm is working. So as you can see, this is a little bit like coming into a traditional gingerbread man pose on just one side of your body, which is why we're doing this move for the strength workout. Although you can also, I feel like with this particular move, since your arms do start lower before rising. I feel like maybe you could also pretend you're like those ninja gingerbread man cookies, which I think are very amusing personally. All right, now cross body toe touches to lateral arm raises. So first, bring your arms out to the side, and then you bend over and touch your toe, and you just keep going in that pattern. Again, you can slow this down if you would like to, and I'm still using my 10-pound weights. Go lighter if you need to. Trust me, I know that it can be tough to keep doing exercises like these for long periods of time, even if it feels fine at first. There's no shame in eventually switching to a lighter set if you need to. You know, when I first started trying to get into shape, I think that I was using 5-pound weights for a while before I felt ready to move up to 8. And then I got 10, and then I got 15. It's a process. Anyway, starting back at the top of that circuit with chest flies. You are back to being a cookie on the pan or sheet. And again, in traditional gingerbread man fashion, try to keep your legs straight on the floor. Although if for whatever reason chest flies are more comfortable for you with your knees bent, just go ahead and do that. You know, it's fun to keep up with a theme for a workout, but most importantly, the most important thing is for you to challenge yourself in a way that is comfortable for you. All right, and next up is those X crunches, going back to the 10s. Okay. So, again, you are a cookie coming to life for the first time. Maybe having never moved your limbs before, they might feel about this heavy. In case you wanted to know, however, the Gingerbread Man tale first was published in a children's magazine called the St. Nicholas Magazine in 1875. Gingerbread men were a thing before that, though. They started with Queen Elizabeth. She had a baker create gingerbread treats in the shape of humans to basically to show off for and honor her royal guests and dignitaries and court members and such. Alright, up to those crunches with lateral arm lifts and twists. I will let you in on a secret. While I was doing this move, I totally hated myself for including it in the workout. I think it's an awesome move. You feel it in your arms and in your core. It's challenging. It is consistent with the theme of a gingerbread man because you're still keeping that general shape. And it's basically like an upward hinge, so it has all the mobility of a cookie, but it is also torturous, so I understand if you also are mad at me. Rest for a second, and now we are getting up. We're going to do those front raises again. Because as a cookie just coming to life, you're just coming up off the pan, and you are testing out your limbs and finding out how super cool it is to be able to move. In fact, thinking about how grateful a gingerbread man would be to suddenly be able to move, having never been able to move before, might motivate you to keep up exercise even more. I mean, just imagine how grateful the gingerbread man is, and how he would shake his head at you if you were not moving your body as much as you personally could. Such a gift gone to waste. All right, we're back to the squats and lateral arm and leg raises. Stretch out your arms a little bit because we are far from finished. Okay? Now please remember, as you squat, and especially when you squat with weights, try not to let your knees go over your toes. My knees are not quite creating the right angles that I usually prefer, but they're not too bad. In any case, I was not experiencing any knee problems after this workout. Now, another thing is, if you feel like you can do both the leg lift and the arm lift at the same time, or separately, but not together, then you can just do it that way. You can, as you come up from the squat, lift up your arm and then your leg before going into the next squat. Modify this move in a way that works for you. And regardless of whether you are perfectly in keeping with the Gingerbread Man theme of this workout, I'm still going to give you gingerbread trivia. So, for example, another little bit of trivia. Gingerbread Man cookies, and most gingerbread cookies, I think, are known for being kind of crunchy, which, in my opinion, is one of its many appeals. I enjoy a crunchy texture. But soft gingerbread has also been very popular. It, for example, the very first American cookbook, at least the first one that anybody knows about, called American Cookery, and written by Amelia Simmons in 1796, had recipes for 3 different types of gingerbread, and one of them was a soft kind. We're going back to those cross-body toe touches with lateral arm raises, and tell me if you have had soft gingerbread. I want to try some soft gingerbread. Or if you would be interested in trying it like me. Or if you even have any specific recipes that you would recommend as preferably easy recipes. I'm a decent cook, but it's definitely not one of my strong points, and I do better with simple simple recipes. Okay, now time to do a water break, and trust me, it's gonna feel good. So we got another half of this workout to do. Like me, you can dance around, or just march or step. I want you to hydrate yourself and catch your breath, but you need to keep your heart rate up, so that you will have no trouble working through the rest of this routine. Speaking of which, we are now starting the runaway cookie circuit. So the first move in this one will be around the world. I'm going to use my 10-pound weights for this one, and basically you're going to bring your arms up into a circle until they get to the top of your head, and then take them back down. So again, just like a Gingerbread Man cookie, your arms are staying as straight as you can. Well, you do need to have a slight bend in your elbows, again, to not put undue pressure on them and end up injuring yourself. I do have to emphasize again that I am not a professional trainer, but I have done enough exercises, and I am enough of a nerd and an enthusiast to know basic things like that. Okay, I'm done with that one. Next is Gingerbread Man Plats. So this is another one for which I will use 10-pound weights, and you will be bringing the weights out in front of you. as though you're doing a very slow motion clap, just like that. So out to the side, clap, and down. And just keep that up for the next 30 seconds. You are a happy gingerbread man, glad to be given the gift of life and able to run and explore the world and avoid things that want to eat you. And this is just your way of showing it. Clapping in slow motion. All right. However, now we are at the point in your journey as a gingerbread man that you're starting to get eaten by the fox. So I'm going to use a 15-pound weight. We're just doing a tricep press with one arm and put the other one behind your back to remind yourself that it's gone and it cannot help you. Try not to move the rest of your body. I struggle with that, especially since I really try to challenge myself with weights. Like honestly, I think probably a lot of people should be using their medium weights for a move like this, but I use my heavy ones because I can barely do it. And I just, like I said, I like to challenge myself. I like to get strong or feel strong. Now go to the other arm. This time it's your other arm that's been eating, the one that you were working last time. And that is the one that cannot help you now. Okay. Another thing is, ideally you would be keeping your arm a little closer to your head. I keep letting it wander too much. Like I said, sometimes I think I get too caught up in trying to challenge myself, and I tell myself it's okay. And you know, I definitely felt a burn here, and I did not injure myself. But if you have any doubts about your form, just go to a lighter weight. Don't be stubborn like me. Okay, now we are going to one-legged deadlifts. Now it's one of your legs that has been eaten by the fox. So, balancing on one leg, you are going into a deadlift, and basically, sometimes I forget to do this. I have to consciously think about it. But keep your shoulders up, and you're pushing your butt out, and you go to about halfway or the bottom of your shins before coming up. And it is definitely a challenge to maintain your balance while you're doing this. I don't blame you if you need to tap your foot on the floor. Sometimes I have to do that. But just do your best to pretend like you've only got the one leg, so you just gotta make do. Alright, now we're doing one-legged deadlifts on the other side. And in case it wasn't already clear, I'm using my 15-pound weights for this one. Alright, and down. Ooh. This is definitely a challenge. If you feel like you can't do a one-legged deadlift at all, just go ahead and keep both feet on the floor. I mean, it's fun to follow a workout theme, but again, the most important thing is for you to feel like you are getting the most out of this entire routine. So you can always work your way up to more challenging things like a one-legged deadlift. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I just totally lost control of the weight right there. It's okay, it happens. In any case, we are back to the top of that circuit. You are a runaway gingerbread man, and you're excited to be out in the world. And you're going to show it with an around the world. It's like you are raising your arms and going, "Yay! I'm free! I get to find out what the world has in store for a gingerbread man like me." And enjoy that for as long as it lasts, until we meet the fox. And again, try to keep your body as still as possible. It's really, really hard, especially since you're probably getting really tired at this point. Okay, back to those gingerbread man claps, holding on to those same weights. Now, what's cool about things, exercises like around the world and the claps, is that you'll definitely feel the work in your arms. They're doing the most work by lifting the weights, but the rest of your body has to, you should feel tension in several other parts of your body too, as it keeps you upright and supports your arms. So whenever I do this one and around the world, I feel it not only in my arms, but in my obliques, and sometimes in my back and shoulders. So it's a great move for lots of muscles. Okay, back to those tricep presses. Okay, choose your favorite arm and begin the torture. Keeping your body as still as you can. Switching to a lighter weight if you have to. The other thing that's great about this move, other than the fact that you can do it with one arm and pretend that the other one has been eaten by a fox, is that it's another hinge kind of movement, which is another part of the gingerbread man theme. Cookies, I imagine, only have so much mobility. So I tried to focus on straight limbs or hinging whenever possible. All right, time to torture the other arm, your least favorite arm, maybe. It's the deep massive thing. Why do I keep making that joke? Okay. I hope you are keeping your body still. And you gotta work that arm, because if you're a one-armed gingerbread man, the arm that you still have, it's gotta be able to take care of you, so work it hard. Harder! Work it harder! Okay, you can stop working it now. Okay, back to the one-legged deadlifts. We are almost done with this workout, you guys. All that's left now is to challenge your balance while working out your arms and your legs and your butt. Keep it slow and steady. I mean, you can go faster if you want to, as long as you're keeping good form. And maintaining your balance. I mean, falling over every so often is understandable. It's very challenging to maintain balance, but if it's happening like every single time you bend over, there's probably something you'll need to change. And I won't judge you. Balance is something that I consistently have to work on, but just saying. Okay, time for the other side. You were almost there. Almost there. Okay, Your other leg has been eaten by the fox. So now, it's time to work out the one that you've got left. You are a magical cookie. Whether you are a gingerbread person or some other kind of cookie, you are magical, and you are proving it with this workout. You are amplifying your magic. You are developing it and growing it, and everybody's going to be able to see it because it's going to become part of everything that you do. And you can dance around with the weights like me if you want to, if you succeeded in doing an entire deadlift, 40 seconds of deadlifts without tripping or falling. In any case, congratulations on being a magical, delicious cookie. I'm so proud of you. Now let's stretch. Arms out, back to those triangle stretches. If your arms are dead, I will not blame you if you just bend over without stretching out your arms, though. You can just let them flop if you want to. You can at least feel the stretch in your obliques and your legs, in your back, and your hips. Although if you do manage to keep your arms outstretched, you'll feel a stretch in those muscles too. Still some stress, but a stretch, and we are at good mornings. All right. We will do some twists so that you can feel your hamstrings stretching and your obliques some more. And those are just a few ideas for stretches. If you feel like you need more, by all means continue stretching. But as for this, with this hamstring stretch, you are now, well, stretching arms too. This was a hard workout, so you are done. Awesome. I am proud of you. You are one tough cookie. I know you are, because you're here. And I hope that you'll come back. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.